Likutei Halacha is Bircot Hashachar Halacha Hey. We are holding by Seif Chaf Hey. It has a subtitle of Hilchos Kriyat Shema. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam She'akol Niyeh B'Noam.
Amen.
It's like this. V'zeh b'chinas mitzvahs Kriyat Shema. That is the whole principle of the Pidyon HaKoil is the mitzvah of Kriyat Shema, which is the essence of the Holy Emunah, the opposite of idol worshiping, the opposite of El Acher, a foreign god, Kfiris, is heresy, B'chinas Shema. This is oblivion. Va'ikar hu kutza dos dalet. And the main thing, the most important nekuda is the spitz of the letter Dalet, shu b'chinas tzadik kamuva. This is the ear of the tzadik. The Tikkun Zohar, to explain what this means, the Tikkun Zohar says that on the letter Dalet, the letter Dalet looks like a resh, right? And has a little chupchik in the back, on top, right?
Yeah.
That nekuda is the tzaddik. This is what the Tikkun Zohar says. Because when you say Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, right? What will happen if you took off the nekuda? Acher will be Avodah Zarah. Without emunah in the tzaddik, which is that spitz in the back of the dalet, the emunah is acher, is because it means ve'aminu b'Hashem u'v'moshe avdei. That mashahu that changes from emunah in acher to emunah in echad is the tzaddik. Va'ikar kutza dos dalet b'chinas tzaddik kamuvo, shehu b'chinas nekudas Moshe. That's the nekuda of Moshe. Shemal mishmad b'rotzon, that elevates from oblivion to favor. Okay, the kutza dos dalet, through that chupchik, this point in the back of the letter dalet, aliyodo mevartin u'machnin alacher. This is how you cancel out and you eradicate a foreign god. And you combine yourself in one. Shachiluk b'neihem, the only difference between acher and echad is just that little dot of kutza dos dalet. V'alken tzarich le'arka beikamo. That's the reason why I have to say echad. You have to be, to be managed that the hainu kanal ki kutza dos dalet, because that little nekuda of ois dalet u'b'chinas atzadik shu b'chinas Moshe shemal lekanal. By the way, it's interesting that when you say Kriyat Shema, it says that you shouldn't, that the Ikar Nekuda, people say Echad, and they think that Mishnah Berurah says before is not to make the ches too long. When you're saying the Echad, that's not the Dalet. That's the whatever comes before it.
Oh, where's the...
And also...
The dalet is the emphasis.
And also, it says, Shulchan Aruch says something interesting. It says, don't say the dalet with a dogish. How do you say dalet with a dogish and dalet without a dogish? You say chad, softly. What's the... So I have looked into the matter, and I have found an answer of sorts. Professor. Because I was able to find out is as follows. Really, in all the ways of saying things in Lashon Kodesh, there's Ashkenazi, there's Sephardi, there's we have ways of saying bet with a dagish and vase without a dagish. You know, we can say kaf and chaf, right? We can say pei and fei, taf and saf. But that's not the only. That's not the only ones. There are three more which we don't say, which is the gimel and the dalet, and ultimately also the reish.
Yeah.
Okay, now so about the reish is bagat kafrat. These are the so how to say dagish and reish? I'm not sure, but from all the exiles of Am Yisrael, there's only one exile that is still from the original of Bavel, of Sancheiriv, you know, from Bais Rishon. They didn't come with, you know, back to Eretz Yisrael. And those are the Yemenites. The Yemenites, the Golos of Yemen is still from the days of Bais Rishon. They didn't come back in the time of Ezra. In fact, there's a big problem with Ezra because of that. He was really giving them the dickens, you know, for not coming back. But the Teimanim, they have their own way of saying things. Ad kedei kach that, you know, when first the cell phone came out, so the only company there was Pelephone, was this black thing.
They were the first telephone?
Yeah, there was this first, you know, over here, and they had just one phone, this black thing that was the cell phone. So they used to say that a Yemenite is like a Pelephone of that time. It says it's small. Listen, it's small, it's black, and you can't understand a single word. Because they have their own, you know, their own specific, their own way of
getting death threats.
what? They have their own way of saying things, which certainly are not intelligible for other, you know, people from other places. Therefore, you know, their way of saying is probably more original than everybody else's.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they kept it from the first. Interestingly enough, they have a separate way of saying gimel with a dagish and without a dagish. And they have a separate way of saying dalet with a dagish and without a dagish. Which also makes a lot of sense because there are sounds in foreign languages that you don't have, supposedly you don't have in Hebrew. And that is J, TH, and a W. Right? So the Yemenites have all of them. They have Gimel is with a Dalet, and Gimel is without a Dalet.
Yeah.
What? And now they have the Dalet, Gimel. Gimel, you know. And Dalet, with the Dalet is Dalet, without a Dalet is Zaled, like a TH. Zaled. So now if you're told to be marech, to say long time the Dalet of Echad without a Dagesh, you would say Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. No problem, right?
Without a dagish, right.
And you thought I was good for nothing.
You told me this a long time ago.
I know. I told you, I recycle everything. I don't have that many things that I know. I have to, you know, hopefully people don't watch all these videos sequentially, so they don't catch me in all my...
Oh my.
Alavai they would. You're right. Ashrechi. Listen, I don't know this is necessarily true, but by your saying it as if it is, so it sounds convincing, right?
It's good.
Yes. So that's why you have to say it long. The spitz of the letter Dalet is the tzaddik. We say Kriyat Shema, that's one thing. This is, being included in Echad. This is probably the Rav of the Ravim. The B'chinas Baruch Shem Kvod Malchus Olam V'ed Ki Iso, that it says like this. Shepasuk Shema Yisrael, Shebo 25 Oisius. The pasuk of Shema Yisrael that has 25 letters, Ub'chinas Yichud Elor. That's the supernal unification. Baruch Shem Kvod Malchus Olam V'ed Yesh Bo 24 Oisius. It has 24 letters. Ub'chinas Yichud Elor. Now, I'll explain that in a minute. ו-24 Asvan, שברוך שם כבוד מלכות לעולם ועד, and the 24 letters of ברוך שם כבוד מלכות לעולם ועד, they are the representation of 24 בתי דינים. These are the 24 courthouses, heavenly courthouses. שצריכים להמתיקן, that you have to sweeten them and neutralize them על ידי אורס מצח הרוצן, through the illumination of the forehead of favor. שזה נמשך על ידי צדיק בבחינת מוישה, that this is brought about through the tzaddik, הבחינת מוישה. וזה בחינת מוישה זיכה אותנו בכל יום פעמיים שמע וברוך שם. Twice a day, Moshe Rabbeinu was, made us, gave us, have bestowed us and given us the schos to say Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, Moshe Kol Mechus every single day. להמשיך בחינס הימתוק של ייחוד האלוה, in order to bring about the sweetening, amelioration and cancellation of the dinim through the 25 letters of Shema Yisrael, that what is their apex, what is the peak, is the Kutsa das Dalet Echad, that Nekuda of the Dalet. Because if you take this Nekuda, the entire Shema Yisrael is Gunush Mitnish, Faket, is Apikosis. It's that dot at the end of the Dalet that makes it the Muna and the Yichud Elyon, right? So when you say this, you're bringing down Heora from Rotzon Elyon, from the Lamshich Misham Lebchinas 24 Bate Dinim now, to bring down to the 24 courthouses, spiritual judgment houses. Shezeh B'chinas Boshin Kvod Malchus Olam V'ed. That's that saying. Blessed be the name of his honor of his kingdom forever. Sheyesh bo 24 oisius, that has 24 letters, and the principle is la'ir mibchinas yichud Eloah, to illuminate from the supernal yichud unification mibchinas yichud Tator, to the lower. Talking gam lamata kol hadinim shel 24 dinim kanal, that so that will sweeten and expunge all the judgments and the verdicts in the 25 spiritual courthouses, until all the heresies in the world will be expunged, until all the holy sparks that fell down very, very, very low will be elevated until many Gerim that Hashem will convert. Al yedei zeh, shezeh b'chinas avodas hatzadik, b'chinas Moshe, shemad le'mishmad le'rotzon. That's the main avodah of Moshe, that elevates shemad le'rotzon. Now, we explained that the world is connected to HaKadosh Baruch Hu with two types of yichudim, two types of unifications. One of them is called Yichud Elyon. It's called the supernal unification. If you remember, we spoke about it once before. And one is called the lower unification. Now, one Yichud, one unification is intermittent, Sometimes yes, sometimes not. And one yichud is constant.
You said,
It happens all the time.
I thought you said like yichud pnimi and yichud.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Same.
Same thing. Yichud pnimi, yichud ha'elyon, yichud ha'chitzon, yichud ha'tachton, it's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing. And we gave an example, the yichud ha'pnimi, you know, that it's like a marriage, because our relationship with Kodesh Baruch Hu is like a marriage. The lower yichud is constant. That's marital life. Just, you know, it's 24 hours a day. 24/7, 365 days a year. It's, sometimes you're closer, sometimes you're further, sometimes you argue, sometimes you don't argue, whatever it is, but it's constant. Yichud HaPnimi is a special time between a husband and a wife that happens every now and then. And this is a whole different level of Yichud between them. And it's only intermittent. The same relationship happens between Kodesh Baruch Hu and the world, in Am Yisrael. The emunah that Am Yisrael has, everybody, even the simple people, yes, religious, not religious, mitzvahs, not mitzvahs, whatever, they have simple emunah in Kodesh Baruch Hu. Kodesh Baruch Hu, that's Yichud HaChitzon. That's the lower Yichud. That's the lower Yichud. Yichud HaPnimi or Yichud HaElyon is that intermittent special time. When you become one with Kodesh Baruch Hu. Well, we said at that time that there are tzaddikim that comes from Yichud HaPnimi, and tzaddikim come from Yichud HaChitzon. And the Rebbe also speaks about it in another place. The idea of the Yichud HaPnimi is a revelation of the deepest love that there is between a husband and a wife, and Kodesh Baruch Hu and Am Yisrael, with no holds barred. Everything is open. It's essentially become one. In day-to-day life, Yichud HaTachton, so there's, you drive your wife crazy, she drives you crazy, children drive you crazy, everybody's crazy, sometimes good times, bad times, nice times, not so nice times. It's this is the 24 Batei Dinim. This is now we are zoechet to say twice a day Shema Yisrael. When we say Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, with the schus of the tzad, because also, by the way, the Yichud HaPnimi or Yichud HaElyon in a family life, it all depends on the tzaddik, on the kedusha. It says man nikra tzaddik. Who is called a tzaddik? Somebody who was shomer bris. That the connection between the husband and wife has to be with great kedusha. You hear?
Yeah.
It has to be with great kedusha and tznius. It's very important. That this is how it's done, because it all depends on the tzaddik. Now people think some people make the mistake that maybe they need to elaborate on this, or to make it more varied, or whatever. That let's say shtus. But by doing that, what they do is they lower it to the physical aspect of it. The whole idea is not to do that. The whole idea is for the physical aspect to enable the two neshamas to become one. It has nothing to do with the physical aspect of the unification. None. Other fakir.
Ha'elyon,
yeah. Specifically between a husband and a wife. It's very, very important to behave with tznius as much as one can. Because as I said, because everything is totally on the tzaddik. Everything is totally on Kedushas HaBris. And according to the way that a person behaves with his wife, this is the way that Mishamayim, they behave with him, and the kind of shpuz that he gets from Shamayim, v'chula, v'chula, v'chula. So we finish here. וכל זהו בחינת 49 ימי ספירה מלכת השבס עד מלכת השבס השביעית. The 25 letters of Kriyat Shema plus 24 letters of Bor Shekol Machusar is 49. It's exactly the 49 days between Pesach and Shavuos.
Shema Yisrael,
Shema Yisrael Shem Elokeinu Shem Echad is 25 letters. Bor Shekol Machusar is 24 letters. Together it's 49. The 49 days of Sphira between Pesach and Shavuos. Because one of the days that what you're doing is you are sweetening the dinim by waving the Omer Sa'orim of barley through Sfiras Omer, as we know, because all 49 days of Sphira are the 49 letters of the two psukim of Kriyat Shema, Shema and Bor Shekol Machusar Lo Ilam Voed, that have 25 letters and 24 letters. And in order to, that I said, in order, to get the sweetening and the neutralization from the Chof He, which is the 25 letters, Atma, the Isma, Alai, Ko Tavarchu. Ko is so you shall. It's very interesting that Ko, he says, the difference between the Nevuah of Moshe Rabbeinu is that all the Nevi'im prophesize in Ko Amar Hashem. Thus Hashem had said. This Allah Moshe Rabbeinu is above them. He says, Zeh Adavar Hashem Amar Hashem. This is what Hashem said. What's in between this and thus?
Yeah.
Or at least, Zeh v'Ko. Zeh means that is the thing. Ko is like that. This is like that. Ko. It's like that. It's like Purim and Kippurim. It's Kippurim. It's like Purim. Zeh and Ko. Ko is like what I'm saying to you. This is what Hashem said, like what I'm saying to you. Moshe Rabbeinu says, this is what Hashem says. And Moshe Rabbeinu says it, this is what Hashem is saying. Tikkun Yisrael says, Ko da Shechinta. Ko is the Shechina. Because it's like Hashem, the Ko Hashem, Ke Hashem, is the Shechina. So the holy Rashash, when he came to Yerushalayim from Baghdad, and once he was sitting in the yeshiva, when he became Rosh Yeshiva already, he learned that Tikkun Yisrael, it says that Ko da Shechinta, Ko is the Shechina, and so he started screaming. He says, Ko, Ko, Ko. So everybody says, what happened to you, Breslauer? What's the he's screaming, Ko? So his famous saying is he said, Hada el Ko, he said it in Arabic, Hada el Ko, Wahad Galbi. Wahad Galbi. He says, that Ko flames up my heart. Sets my heart on fire. Hada el Ko, Wahad Galbi. That is the famous Rashash with the Ko. So Ko, this 25 is the Shechina. That's the and you're bringing it down, the B'chinas Chavdal, 24. It says about in the Golus, Al Yashuv Dach v'Nichlam. You shouldn't set lowly and oppressed. Dach is oppressed. Dach is also 24. So from the Ko, from the Shechina, you bring down, I'm talking to the Dach, to the oppression. זה בחינת פידל העליון הכולל, היה בספר בליקוטי האריזל, בליקוטי ישעיה, דף י"ג, עמוד בייס. עד כאן. You seem to be sitting in the Spilkes. Yeah, you have to go in?
I am going now. No,
What?
I am going.